Hey folks, Javid here with Georgia Right to Life. I'm here with Mr. Grindlay. He's running for State Senate District 48. He's a phenomenal candidate. Just tell us about your background, what kind of got you into the pro-life movement and ultimately politics.
Well, I came into politics actually as a precinct committeeman and then also through election integrity as a grassroots organizer. Eventually, through my work in politics and through grassroots election integrity, I determined there's a lot of corruption down at the Gold Dome of the state legislature. There's a lot of influence from corporate lobbyists and donors that really should not have no place in the process. And going down that road, I discovered it impacts many other issues other than just election integrity. And I think it directly impacts what we're here tonight for, which is the right to life. I feel like a lot of politicians, a lot of legislators at the Gold Dome are maybe afraid to do what all of us know is right, which is to protect the right to life without exceptions, because there are certain interests, whether it's the film industry, whether it's the press, that they're just afraid to do the right thing, and they're afraid to make the argument the right way that will convince other legislators to get on board. So for me, I feel like, as Ricardo Davis says, this should be an unthinkable act that people don't even consider doing. And by opening what they call the Overton window to the idea of doing any kind of killing of babies, period, you're allowing the left and people who are, in my mind, godless, trying to control the conversation and say that this is something we can negotiate on. Whereas we would never negotiate on it if they were 2 or 3 years old. But some reason when they're in the womb, we're willing to negotiate. To me, we need to stop being defensive as conservatives. We need to be aggressive and proactive and take the fight to them and don't take any exceptions when it comes especially to something that's a moral crisis like we have right now.
Well, thank you. Is there anything in particular regarding personhood and the sanctity of life, if you were elected, you want to really focus in on as a legislator?
Well, 100%. We need to focus on personhood being the term that we use in the legislation. Like, we need to redact the heartbeat bill so that it takes out those exceptions about rape and incest. But also the term that we use is important, because personhood is, I think it's so important that Georgia Right to Life is pushing the idea of personhood, because that's the reality of what's in the womb. We can't speak about it in sanitized terms. And when you speak about the person within the womb and recognizing a right to personhood, I believe we also had another candidate tonight that also addresses, that's even an alternative way where you can get past Roe v. Wade even if they didn't overturn it, because then you're speaking about a constitutional right to the life of a person, and then the right to privacy or whatever confused logic they use in Roe v. Wade, it doesn't even apply anymore. I'm confident, I pray to God that it is a new day and that we have a right to life that is fully unfettered in our country, and there's no restrictions on the right to life. But even if for whatever reason they're intimidated and change their mind, we need to be creative and think outside the box how we can get around that and still protect life within our state, because it's that important, because babies are being killed. We can't just give up on it.
Well, very well said. I know the primary is coming up really fast, May 24th. If someone wants to get on board your campaign, if they want to help out, who do they talk to? Who do they go to?
Well, I would recommend going to Vote Kevin GA, www.votekevingA. You can check out my background, you can check out my materials, my videos online where I go into issues in detail, because I want people to hear me speak about these issues and know I don't just give platitudes when I talk about these issues. I research them carefully and I come to reasoned decisions and I understand them well, so when I get to the Gold Dome, I am ready to act and enact legislation right away, because I know what the code says now and how it needs to change. So please do your research, both me and my opponent, and I think you'll see who's really there for the right reasons and there to do the will of the people and the will of God ultimately.
Awesome. Well, Mr. Grindlay, thank you so much. May 24th, do not sit at home. Please get out to the polls and get this man into office. Thank you so much.